Welcome back to Squawk Box this morning. Billionaire Microsoft founder, I should say, Bill Gates, drawing the attention of Senator Elizabeth Warren. This after a comment that he made yesterday with me at the New York Times DealBook Conference. Take a look at what he has to say.
I've paid over $10 billion in taxes. I paid more than anyone in taxes. But I'm glad to have paid, if I'd had to pay $20 billion, it's fine. But, when you say I should pay $100 billion, okay, then I'm starting to do a little math about what I have left over. Sorry, I'm just kidding. So you really want the incentive system to be there, and you can go a long ways without threatening that.
Have you ever talked to Elizabeth Warren about any of this before?
I've not.
Would you? Would you want to?
I'm not sure how open-minded she is, or that she'd even be willing to sit down with somebody, who has large amounts of money.
Well, we might be brokering the peace here because now Senator Warren says she would be willing to meet with Bill Gates. She tweeted last night, "I'm always happy to meet with people, even if we have different views. Bill Gates, if we get the chance, I'd love to explain exactly how much you'd pay under my wealth tax. I promise it's not $100 billion. Some others, by the way, have done the math. On an annual basis, it would be an additional probably $6 billion on his current wealth, depending on...
Including the capital gains piece of the wealth tax?
It might be he might be paying total of a $12 billion, but it sounds to me like he already may be paying close to $6 billion as it is on an annual basis. So it would be an additional $6 billion, give or take a couple billion here or there. What's so interesting about Bill Gates is he does, and he's a big advocate for all sorts of progressive tax systems and talks about bringing the estate tax, about doing all sorts of things. But when it comes to the wealth tax itself, at that 6% level, I think he has a bit of a different view. And I don't think it's out of some effort to save his own money. I think it's a philosophical view.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm not even close. I know it's a shock to you, but I'm not even close to a billionaire. So, and I have spent a lot of time, sort of defending that position. Right. And, I see the way that it's portrayed on, certain venues recently, comedy, they're joking about it. I get that, but, I'm not sticking my neck out. Why should I philosophically defend that when all you're going to be is the target of a class warfare argument? So forget it. Here's my only problem, Andrew. I just don't want to look at people like Gates or Lee Cooperman or any of these people as a negative to society. We all have to decide whether it really is a zero-sum game or whether you can actually create wealth and do some really great things in your life. And I think Bill Gates, I look at that $10 billion that he pays, and I think that is really, really great that this man in his life is in a position to pay $10 billion in taxes that can be used for all the things that we want to try to do. I don't think he stole $10 billion that you would divvy it up between all the people that are unable to have that $10 billion because he has the $10 billion. Right. I don't think it's a zero-sum game. And that's the mentality that really drives me crazy. And that's not even including philanthropic efforts of a Bill Gates or a Lee Cooperman. Think about what these guys do just in taxes, what they pay, what the employees, that many of them generated the jobs that the employees have, the taxes that they pay, the shareholders that pay taxes, maybe not enough, but think of all and then throw on that the giving pledge Lee Cooperman signed, and now they're the object of all this derision and what he's crying about his money. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the clip.
Yeah, well, of course it is.
It's totally skewed, and it's not fair, and it's funny, but hey, count me out, man. I'm not ending up on any clip. Look, let's get the billionaires. Let's get them all.
So interesting.
I'm with you. Let's storm the gates. Do whatever we need to do.
You're not with me.
Turn them upside down.
I said yesterday when I was introducing Bill Gates to me is the most consequential individual, singularly, of this entire era, both in terms of what he did in the private sector and what he did in the public sector.
It could be Druckenmiller, any of these guys that do all this incredible stuff. In addition to paying huge tax bills through their career.
But one of the things that I would say, and I think this is true of what Bill was saying yesterday, is there is all sorts of other low-hanging fruit that could be, and I think pushing back for as long as, I I think the pushback over time against raising capital gains, against carried interest, against all of these other things along the way has created this time and this moment. Meaning, I think, frankly, from a, quote, fairness perspective, had some of these things that just seem so out of whack been dealt with, I don't think we'd be dealing with these ideas which now seem
You mean if we've been
so
taxing
extreme.
all along, we wouldn't have this point in time where people are demanding higher wealth taxes?
There's never enough.
No. I don't think it's never enough. I think if you look at...
Can we talk about what we're going to spend it on? We haven't said a word about whether we're going to spend this.
Look, I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate of the wealth tax. I would tell you, by the way...
No, but why do we spend so much time talking about getting the money when we don't even know how to spend it effectively when we do get it? Why don't... Half the discussion should be about how we
100%.
equalize opportunity. What we do with schools, what we do with health care.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Huh?
I'm not going to disagree with that.
All right,
but I was going to say...
But the side that Elizabeth Warren, I don't know, maybe she does have...
What's so fascinating... Did you guys see, there was a piece by Neil Irwin yesterday in the Times that did fascinate me genuinely.
The London Times?
The New York Times.
Oh,
because what he... You know how he described the wealth tax? As a tax, not like a traditional tax, but like a cigarette tax. Because the goal of the tax is actually for there to be less of it eventually. Right. And that, to me, just was a very new way of sort of framing the issue.
And he was in support of that?
No. He was trying to describe this in a new way.
At the New York Times?
At the New York Times, Joe. It's worth reading because it really sort of makes you think about really understanding what the goal of the tax is. Usually the tax is to raise revenue.
Right.
This is to do something that's different and more than that.
Because they will go elsewhere.
Punitive.
All these guys will go elsewhere.
I just wish we spent half the time really finding effective ways to use that, because we blow it now, a lot of it.
That goes to the heart of the argument of all these guys. Why should I give my money to the government to spend when I can spend it on my own in self-directed
I get that, but then
I'd rather give it.
But then the other piece,
not for the write-off either. I don't even care.
But Bill also talked about. Look, Bill's doing, I think, God's work with a lot of his wealth.
Well, a lot of them are.
Hold on, no. But a lot of money is being used by others for lobbying efforts, for politics. There's all sorts of things going on, and I think he would like to clean that up too. And I think part of the problem is there hasn't been an effort to clean up enough of the, as I said, the low-hanging fruit, and now we've gotten to a point where now there's a larger.
You don't want to get in the business of regulating how people use their philanthropic. I don't want virtue signalers telling me how to use my philanthropic efforts. Oh no, that's not a good way for you to. I don't like that cause.
I would just suggest to you that certain 501c3s are masquerading as other.
There's always an exception, though. There's always...
That's what I say about the Clinton Foundation. I don't want it used for private jets for all the people that are running the thing, all right? So, but don't tell me my cause isn't as worthy as yours. Then you're getting another slippery slope, because our causes are totally different, I think. Except the cause of Squawk Box and promoting that.
Except the cause of Squawk Box.